Makakausap natin ngayon ang basketball analyst na si Enzo Marcos for his thoughts on the Eastern Conference Finals and a bit of the West. Enzo, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, the Celtics trying to shock the world, trying to shock LeBron James and the Eastern Conference by being one win away. Nung papasok ng Game 5, for fans like us, Game 7 is the best thing to watch. But a Game 5 in a 2-2 series is always very fun as well. What were your expectations coming into Game 5, knowing that Boston has not lost at home this year?
Tulad nga na sinabi mo, it's a very crucial game. It's a pivotal game, so whoever's going to take it really takes control of the series.
Yep.
I was expecting, as everyone can see, that I was expecting Brad Stevens to make an adjustment, and he did. He started Baines, and that was huge for them. So they came out and hit the Cavs with a haymaker in the first quarter, and it seemed like the Cavs couldn't adjust. And
well, let's break it down a bit and look at that hot first quarter, 32-19 sila, no? One of their highest scoring quarters in the playoffs so far. What do you think changed there? I mean, aside from Baines, I mean, is it really that big of a difference that these guys, especially the young ones, just play so bad on the road and they play so well at home?
Yeah, when you look at Game 4, the two rookies that stand out are the Jays, right? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And they looked like rookies in Game 4.
Yep.
That wasn't the case in Game 5. They looked like vets again. And when you read about what Brad Stevens has done to the culture, he eliminated rookie hazing. So he's given them ownership of the team, and they
feel like you're part of the team right away.
Yeah. So and you can see that when they're on the floor, and especially when they're on that Boston floor.
Well, LeBron James and Kevin Love had decent games. In fact, they combined for 18 points in that first quarter. But that's where the problem begins. Bakit sila lang? Anong nakita mong problema naman sa supporting cast ng dalawa? Why, LeBron and Caleb can't do it on their own?
Yeah. So that's been the narrative of the series. Actually, since the first series that they've been in, LeBron needs help. And if you look at the VTR now, practically all the points that the Celtics scored were on J.R. Smith. Even on defense, in Game 4, Korver got 2 blocks, and when he gets 2 blocks, they're probably gonna.
And he had some dives for the loose ball as well at 37 years old.
And he just looked tired in Game 5, and I think that was just the case. He couldn't maintain that type of energy.
Nabanggit mo na tired. A lot of the talk as well, the commentary about LeBron today was also that he looked tired daw too. Meron pang analysis is Doris Burke interviewing the home team courtside reporter of the Cavs who's with them all the time, and they observed some of his mannerisms were not the usual. Na parang nakatukod, hands and waist more often than not. In your point of view, I mean, from first of all, it's crazy to see him at 15 years in the league and still playing at his level. Did he look human today?
He absolutely did look human. I know a lot of. I know. It's easy to say that he could be playing to the crowd a bit, but then there were some plays where the Celtics would get a steal, and usually he'd go for a chase down block. But this time he just let them score. So I don't know what it is. So there's a narrative that's being floated out there. I kind of believe it that he's punting games. That he's
nagpapabugbog muna. Okay.
Like FPJ though. So LBJ, FPJ. So it could be some similarity there. So maybe in Game 6 he's gonna come out swinging.
Pero, in the games that he scored his 40-point outbursts, you can see his dominance at the post, his willingness to just drive and zigzag his way to the basket. And he had moments of that today, but not all the time. Tansya mo, pretend you're LeBron James. What's in your mind? You want to do less of that because you want the others involved? Yeah. You don't want to spoil them and say, I'll win every game for you? Yeah,
I think that's something that's definitely in his mind. He wants to kind of egg his teammates on, but at the same time, so Game 4, they would seek out the mismatch with Terry Rozier, but the Celtics wouldn't allow it this time.
Mag-switch.
Ang bilis nila mag-switch.
By the time he turns around and thinks Rozier is on him, biglang si Baines na.
Yeah, so I think in his head he wanted to do what he wanted to do in Game 4, but the Celtics just wouldn't allow it. So again, you got to give props to Brad Stevens.
Galing. Okay, let's talk about that. What Brad Stevens has been able to do, winning 3 games out of the 5 so far, and the way he's done it. I mean, they're already calling him, the best coach in the NBA today. Even though there's some guy named Greg Popovich coaching the Spurs, who just coached a bad lineup this year. But your thoughts on Brad Stevens and the magic he's done so far?
I mean, just the just what he's been able to accomplish without Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. People are even saying now that they're better without them, and that's how good Brad Stevens is, and he's making people like Scary Terry step up. He's making people like even Ojale, right? He was playing a crucial role. Not today, but then everyone's stepping up. Even Aaron Baines, and it's amazing. He's doing something to LeBron James that only Popovich has done.
Just so the fans appreciate this, he played basically a 7-man rotation today.
Right.
7 guys.
Yeah.
The other 8th and 9th guy, Nader and Yabusele, just played 2.5 minutes each. Okay, medyo wild talaga yun to see how limited that rotation is. And yet, may rookie dyan, may sophomore, may third-year player, ang bata-bata. So, given the youth of his cast as well. Aside from, fine, injured si Kyrie, injured si Hayward.
Yeah, there was a tweet by Mark Stein earlier. He said, you look at the average age of the Celtics, and that's rebuilding for anyone else.
Yeah.
But he came in and said, we're not rebuilding, we're competing.
Yeah.
And that's something that, I mean, it's easy to say it, but he's coming in and teaching them how to. Like, there was an interview with Scary Terry. I'm sorry, I keep calling him
I call him Scary Terry too. I love calling him Scary Terry.
There was an interview with Scary Terry, and then he said that, Brad Stevens has approached him and said, listen, Kyrie's down, you're going to be my guy. And he taught him how to play within the system. He's just putting them in the best position to succeed, and it's amazing. And I'm a Lakers fan.
I know that.
This is painful
for me to talk about. You're praising them so much. We got to put this up on your website and keep this forever. Anyway, okay. Speaking about coaching, on the flip side, anong kinulang naman kay Ty Lue today? In fact, he was criticized at the press con for forgetting to give Kyle Korver more minutes compared to how J.R. Smith played like garbage, is what people had said in defense and in offense. Your thoughts on Ty Lue and maybe the lack of adjustments he made today?
You know what? In all fairness to Ty Lue, you look at the roster and what else are you going to do, right? I mean, you got to get more production out of Kevin Love, obviously. But, he tried with Nance, but Nance was his energetic self. He just couldn't finish. And J.R. Smith looked like you said, his mind was in the Bahamas already. And he couldn't defend. He couldn't defend anyone. If I were Ty Lue, obviously, but there's one thing I would try to put Cedi Osman earlier. I mean, I think that's someone
who could, at the end of the regular season.
Right, and I think that's someone that LeBron could rely on. He has that
He
energy.
liked him during those games in that stretch.
He's a 6'8" player who can shoot, he can pass, and I think, what else are you going to do? Who else are you going to rely on?
He can bring that energy.
He can bring that energy, and I think that he maybe try that out sooner, earlier.
Okay, lastly, before we jump to the West Conference, one interesting thing that the Cavs are going to bring, well, 2 interesting things they're going to bring to the next game, Game 6 at home. One is, they lost, but they played a pretty good defense. 36% field goal shooting lang in Celtics. So could that give them a boost of confidence? Although, there's so much pressure in Game 6 because, one, they could lose, they're out. This could be LeBron's last game in a Cavs jersey. It could be LeBron's last game at the Q. So all that drama adds to that.
But if there's a player that can step up in these situations, it's LeBron James. I think that there's that narrative that's floating around that when he figured out, okay, we're probably not going to win this game, he conserved some energy. He still looked tired, but Kyle got to rest, and maybe they can come back and produce the same magic.
Kasi nga, binabagit ni Marco ni Enzo to na there's only 1 day break.
Right.
Unlike the other games, there was a 2-day gap. Ito, pahinga bukas, laro kagad.
Fly out to play again. So I feel like if you're asking me for prediction, I think they're going to take that Game 6.
Okay,
the Cavs.
And then, bahala na si Batman sa Game 7. Who knows? I mean,
Celtics might take that.
The Celtics haven't lost there this year, so we'll see what happens there. Okay.
And they're terrible on the road.
I know. Okay, nabanggit na natin kanina sa West na Iguodala is still doubtful, and same with Klay Thompson.
Right.
If they don't play, do the Warriors have a chance in Game 5?
I mean, you saw how they were in the usual third quarter. They were great, but then one thing that Iggy does provide is he's that I don't want to call him a Robin to Draymond's Batman, but they are kind of that. Draymond said it himself that he's able to not even talk to Iggy, but they know where they're going to be on the floor on defense.
Correct, yeah.
So, and they're now another ball handler. So, and you could see that Klay was out of sorts when he came back in from the locker room. He had an air ball, some bad passes. So they need those guys. As crazy as it sounds, the Warriors need that extra all-star.
Chris Paul had a very interesting and, for me, revealing interview after winning Game 4. He kind of looked emotional pa nga, na parang he knew how big the game was. He knew that they could not go down 1-3. He tied it 2-2, going home to Houston with the momentum of winning Game 4. What do you expect from Paul and Harden in terms of how crucial Game 5 is at home?
Well, their legacy is on the line. Everyone's been ragging on them already, especially Chris Paul. He's been bounced out of the playoffs on numerous occasions, and he just doesn't want that to stick to his legacy. And I feel like he's going to come out and with that same type of energy, that same type of urgency, and I don't know, it really depends on if Klay and Iggy play and if they're healthy.
Yeah, exactly. All the more that should motivate them. If they're not there, all the more pressure them to really get that win and go up 3-2. Alright, abangan nyo po yan bukas sa umaga live on SNA at 9 a.m. Enz, maraming salamat.
Thank you, TJ.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Anton Rojas. For more sports updates, keep watching The Score and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's ABS-CBN Sports and Action.